to date, they want to find love, they want to move into a direction, but they are terrified. They're terrified, and we're going to talk about what they're terrified of, what they are afraid of. And it's not necessarily what you think they're afraid of, it's what, and so today we're going to deal with what people are really afraid of. All right? Yes. This is going to be a good session. All right, let's get busy. Welcome to Love, Lust, and Lies. I am your host, Ken Canion, and on today's show, we're going to talk about women, so you want to date, but you are terrified. You are scared to date. And so today we're going to go in what to do, my idea is to change your paradigm about what you feel. So let's keep it 100. Let's get started. So a lot of you are afraid because, you've had pain in the past. And pain in the past, dude cheated on me, dude didn't do me right, he didn't appreciate me, and all of these things that your pain brain, you have two things going on, your pain brain and your power brain. Pain brain tells you all of the reasons why you're in pain or amplifies that pain. And so what you want to do, what your brain does, is your brain wants to do what it has to do to avoid the pain, to avoid that pain. Okay, and so today I'm going to hit that pain brain in the mouth. I'm going to hit you dead on and talk about what to do when that happens. And so I'm going to explain to you some things that many of you probably didn't think about. So here's what you're afraid of. So let's get right into it. So you say you're afraid that people are going to cheat on you, that he's not going to treat you right, or he's not going to accept me for who I am. But the truth is, that's not what you're afraid of. What you're afraid of, number one, you're afraid of getting hurt, okay? But you're also afraid of making a bad choice. You're also afraid that you might choose the wrong person. Your choices might be the ones that get you back in the situation. And so, what's up, Milani? Hey there. And so many of you are afraid, fear, and what you say is, I'm afraid because I don't want to pick the wrong person. But the truth is, what you're afraid of is you don't trust yourself to choose the right person. Okay, so now we're going to get deep into this. And so a lot of times when people are in situations and when they want to date, they tell themselves all the reasons why they should not date. All the reasons why I should stay isolated. All the reasons why I should stay covered. In our class last night, we talked about uncovering yourself. And many of you stay covered, meaning you don't get out. You don't want to be seen. You don't want to be all of these things because you have a fear that if I am uncovered, somebody might see me, I might make the wrong choice, and I'm going to end up hurt. I'm going to end up hurt. And then you go down the rabbit hole. And then at the end of the rabbit hole is there lies pain. And you have talked yourself out of the possibility of a great relationship, the love of your life, all of those things because fear consumes you. All right. Now, what we're going to talk about is what fear is. And see, the truth of the matter is fear is an illusion. Fear is an illusion. Fear is not real. I used to hear that thing, folks. Fear is false evidence appearing real. And see, the reason why we think fear is real is because fear is an emotion. But the truth is, fear is a reaction. Fear is an internal reaction to external stimuli. Okay, meaning I think about something and all of a sudden I have a reaction to it. Fear is a reaction to something. Now, let's get this. We're going to get right into it. Their reaction to fear is they cut people off because it looks like something else they've seen. Now, it may not even be real. And what you decide is, oh, hell no. He didn't call me back. He didn't text me back. After 10 minutes, I am out. And what you're doing is that is a protection mechanism to protect you. It might not even be real. The dude might be working late. Anything could have happened. The car broke down. Whatever it is, but that is your response to your fear. Now, fear is an illusion because what fear is an emotional response to something that has not happened yet. So think about it now. You're afraid of what you've conjured up in your mind that might happen. Okay, he might cheat on me. I'm going to find out about it. Next thing I know, I'm going to be hurt. So now it hasn't happened, but your mind does not know the difference between what is real and what is imagined if you dream it vivid enough. And that's why it works good and bad. That's why I tell people, I said, you have to see yourself having the thing you want. And when you see it over and over and over again, the mind doesn't know if it's real or not. The mind, the subconscious mind, simply helps you attain it. It simply helps you acquire the thing that you desire. It doesn't know if it's imagined. You ever thought about something? This is how real this is. Some people, have you ever feared something so much that has never happened, but it's so real to you that you're paralyzed by the fear? Do you know anybody like that? Have you ever been like that? You've been so afraid of this happening, you won't do it. Okay? And so I was working with I work with young athletes now. And working with coaching them. And I asked the young athletes, I said, number one, before we get started on our first day, I said, number one, let's do this. Let's talk about your fears. And he was like, huh? I said, I need you to write down what you fear. He said, in my life? I said, yeah, write down your fears. So the first thing he wrote down was, I fear being eaten by a shark. Okay? Then the second thing he wrote down was, I fear crashing in a plane. Okay? Now, I said, so you fear things that you've never experienced before, but you're anticipating or you're creating this in your mind. He said, yeah. So number 3 was, I fear failure. Now we getting deep. Some of y'all fear failure. And so until I had made him confront the fear, the thing that was keeping him terrified, and I said, well, okay, let me ask you a question. Is it real? Has it ever happened? He said, no. I said, so you create this thing of failure. Now, because you have this fear of failure, does it ever prevent you from doing things that you desire doing? And he was like, he had to think about it. And he said, yeah. I said, but you never tell anybody about the fear. You just keep it inside of you and the fear grows. He was like, yeah. And then I said, so it's preventing you from doing the thing and having the thing that you want. So he wants to be this great basketball player, but he fears failing by taking the last shot of the game. He can shoot very well. He's got all this talent. I said, but this fear prevents you from taking the shot, the clutch shots when you want to. He said, yeah. I said, why? He said, because I fear. Now I realize I'm fearing failure. I said, now what you fear is, you fear the emotional response that failure will give the other people around you. And he's like, yeah, I didn't think about that. And so now it's preventing you from taking the shot that you need to take, that you're equipped to take, that you've been groomed to take. You won't take the shot. And he's like, yeah. I said, so you can never achieve greatness. You can never get the thing that you desire because you won't take the shot because of the fear that is imagined. And so he was like, damn. He was like, I said, yeah, it's all right if you cuss around me, man. It's all right. I said, now let's get into the lesson of the day. See, what I told him was, I said, you are fearful, but you're fearing the illusion of something that has not happened. And you're conjuring up, and your mind doesn't know if it's real or not. And so what happens to many people who want to date, if you want to date and you conjure up all of these reasons why you can't date, but which that is attached to fear, that is an illusion. And because you've experienced things in the past, you say that is a good barometer of what I'm going to experience in the future. And no, it's not. It is not. The past never consults, your future never consults your past unless you allow it to. So let's get into what it is. So the truth is that many of you who want to be in a relationship, you don't trust yourself. You don't trust that you can make the decisions. You don't trust that you can pick the right person. It's not so much that people are going to cheat on you and all of that, because if you pick the right person, they won't do it. And the reality, the root of it is you don't trust you, because you say that in your subconscious mind, and somewhere in your subconscious mind, you don't believe you have the capacity to pick the right person. Now we get to the root of it. And so, what we're going to talk about for the rest of the time, I know I got a long time in setting this up. I want to help you understand this, that embrace the fear, embrace because you're scared, embrace it. You see, fear is nothing but an emotion, y'all. It's an emotion and it feels real, but it's an emotion attached to something that is not real. It's an illusion that you've created. So you're afraid. The things you're afraid. The person's going to cheat on you. I'm not going to pick the right one. My family's not going to like him. My kids ain't going to like him. What am I doing at age 50 trying to date somebody? All of this. Can I fall in love? Nobody's going to love me for me. All of the limiting beliefs that you have created, all of them, they're attached to an illusion. They're attached to an illusion. It is not real. So here's what I want you to do. The things I want you to do, and I wrote this down. I want you to do this right here. So I got you 3 things, all right? Number 1, understand that accept that there is risk attached to any reward. Whenever you're afraid of something, what you're afraid of, something that's not going to happen, something that hasn't happened, but you perceive it as it is negative. And so what I always tell people is accept that if I'm ever going to achieve anything I desire, there is risk attached to it. Now, here's how I look at risk though. Y'all, I looked at risk, so I want to talk about risk today. So look, check this out. So what I did was, there was a risk to me doing this live. Coming on, this is my 121st episode. And then when I first did episode 1, I said the risk. So here's the risk. The risk is they won't listen to me. The risk is that nobody's going to hear what I have to say. The risk is they're going to say, who the hell is he? And they're going to not validate me. And all of those things, those are risks involved. But the truth is, you know what I said? The reward is so much greater. The reward that I'll be able to help people's lives, that I'll be able to change people's lives, that I'll help people get the relationships that they want. And everything you do, there is a risk. So yesterday, I took a risk today. So yesterday, somebody inboxed me and said, hey, I've been listening to your lives. I just want to donate money to you. And I just wanted, do you have a cash app? And I was like, who, for real? And she was like, yes. So I gave her my cash app. She said, you need to put your cash app up and let people, because there are people who want to donate to what you do. Because you're giving this content every day and you're doing it from the bottom of your heart. And I said, what? Now I thought of the risk first. At first, my fear came out. My fear was, if I put that up, people will think I just want money. And then I thought about it. Then I said, the truth is we get so caught up in what others believe and project their image on us, what they project on us, that we forget who we truly are. So I decided that I'm going to put it up, and I put it up today. And so if you want to donate money to the cause, if you want to give an offering or whatever you want to do, it's up there. Ken Canion Group, my cash app. And so I faced a fear that I have. And what it is, see, here's the thing. The fears that we have are never as bad as we think they are, okay? They're never as bad as we think they are. And so what happens is we conjure it up in our minds. We assume that people are going to think something because we think it. Because we think it. You got to believe you're valuable. So if I believe I'm valuable, I'm going to put the cash app out there. And so there was a part of me that said, don't do it. You know why? That small part of me didn't believe that I was worthy to do it. But you know what? I have to believe in order to have the things that I desire. All I got to do, I don't have to believe it first. All I got to do is do the work. All I got to do is put it out there. And let what happens next. And then fear won't take over. And so the first thing I want you to understand is there is always risk involved in anything that you will ever do in this life, any reward you will ever receive in this life. There is risk involved in that. There is risk. There is a risk reward. And see, what happens is this: you won't achieve greatness. You won't have the person that you desire, because what you do is you put too much weight on the risk when the reward is where the weight should go. And that leads me to this: how bad do you want it? If you have a why do you want it? I always tell people, I said this the other day, if your why is big enough, the how becomes irrelevant. Why do you want it? Why do I do this every day? Because I want to empower people. Why do me and Melania, when we work together on teaching these classes, why do we do it? We do it because our why is big enough. If your why in getting in a relationship is big enough, the how becomes irrelevant. You'll do the things you have to do. You'll be willing to learn about dating, how to date. You'll learn about healing yourself and getting over limiting beliefs and getting over past trauma. You do because your why is big enough. And so what I tell people is do it afraid. If your why is big enough, do it afraid. Because the things that frighten you, you can't ever, you know, when you were young, many people used to sleep with the light on. And when I was young, I was like, Mom, just leave the light on. She says, what are you scared of? I was like, the boogeyman. You know what she told me? And I carry it with me today. She says, the boogeyman will go away if you face him. She said, what? If you face the boogeyman will go away. See, just like, and see what she was telling me in her own country way. She was like, fear is an illusion. Be willing to face your fears. Be in her country way, be willing to face your fears. And the fear will get consumed by you. You can consume your own fear if you're willing to face it. You can extinguish it if you're willing to face it. And the thing is, some of us aren't willing to face it, and then the fear grows. And will you ever notice how when you face a bully, and you realize after you stick the bully, you realize the bully get knocked down too. The bully ain't as mean as you thought he was. The bully is not as big as you thought he was, you know. And so my wife and I had a conversation one day. I said, baby, I said, the thing that you fear, I said, the boogeyman that you fear, look under the bed. And she was like, what? I said, look under the bed. I said, you'll see that he's not there. And so she was like, dang, because we were talking about a fear that she had. And I said, when you look under the bed, you realize that the boogeyman ain't even there. You've created the boogeyman in your own life. Number two, oh boy, I'm going. Number two, the things I want to ask you, if you're scared, here is this. What you're afraid of, you're afraid of pain. You're afraid, ultimately, this all goes back to, I'm going to experience some kind of pain if I date. The truth is, when you accept that pain is necessary, listen to what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm about to tell you. Pain is necessary in a relationship because Melania always says, you know, a relationship is either to grow or to heal. That's the purpose of a relationship, to grow or to heal, okay? Now, even if you have a great relationship, my wife and I have a great relationship, but we caused each other pain. But through the pain, it's been necessary for me to become the man that I am today. Because y'all, when you embrace that pain in a relationship, that there's going to be some uncomfortable moments. And what I'm saying, and I don't mean pain like they're going to shout them out world. No, because human beings are human beings. Even in the best situation, pain is necessary. It is a catalyst for to grow. Absolutely, Seema, I agree. It is a catalyst for growth. And so what I'm saying is, y'all, embrace that. Okay, it's kind of like me. If I'm working out, I used to weigh 420 pounds. When I embrace that the pain is necessary, that it was a necessary part of this process, that it was necessary for me to get where I had to go, then all of a sudden, the pain lost its sting. It still hurts, yeah. And when I go to the gym now, with these young boys, and I'm working out just as hard as them, they tripping, I say, listen, pain can't last always. And I said, there is a meaning in the pain. Oh, my goodness. there is a meaning in the pain. Because what the pain is telling me, there's a buildup of lactic acid in your body. Okay, there's a buildup of lactic acid, and this acid needs to be released and removed out of your muscle. So whenever you experience pain, that's what's happening. That's what the burn is. When they say feel the burn, if you don't have a buildup of lactic acid, your muscles don't take shape. Your muscle isn't built up. And so what happens is now you realize, yep, Trace, I said 420. Now you realize that the lactic acid that hurts your arms, your thighs, your legs, and everything else is necessary to sculpt your body. So embrace it. That's why they say feel the burn. And just what I'm saying is, listen, the relationship is not going to be perfect. There are going to be areas of the relationship that causes you pain. Nights when you're going to be mad, things you're going to be like, why the hell they do that? And the truth of the matter is, it's necessary. Because you're gathering data, okay? There are going to be things in it. What I'm worried about is a relationship that's perfect. That's what I'm worried about. You get a relationship that's perfect, we got a problem. Okay. Seema says, I teach my clients during the healing process that pain is a gift. Yes, it's all in how you perceive it. This pain is going to help me grow, evolve. Yes, yes, yes. He's strong in my passion and cultivate my purpose. Absolutely. I'm in pain right now, this knee, when that knee is telling you something too. All right, y'all. And the last one is simply this. Oh, I already talked about that. Ooh, but I'm going to talk about this. Okay, here it is. Golly. Here's the thing. I know you're afraid. I know you're afraid. Many people are afraid today because, you got uncertainty, COVID, all of the things that cause you uncertainty. Because one of the top 3 needs of human beings is the need for certainty. That's why it's hard for us to leave a job that we know it's not right. That's why it's hard for us to leave a relationship we know it's not right. It's because the certainty, everybody needs certainty in their lives. And the truth is, y'all, there is no certainty. God is the only one that's certain. And the truth is, we think we're in control. And the only way you can truly be in control, because none of us are in control. None of us. Don't believe you're in control. When COVID came, it made you realize that you're not in control. None of us are. When you realize that I'm willing to lose control so I can gain it. When you gain control by losing it. When you realize that, relationship ain't guaranteed. There is no perfect relationship. I can do all of the techniques and all of that, but I've got to be willing to risk getting love, risk putting myself out there to experience love. I got to risk to get that job. I can't just get that job sitting at the house without risk. I've got to risk. Everything is a risk. When you go to school for 4 or 5 years, go to college, you're risking. What you're saying is, I'm risking $100 and something thousand for the idea that one day I'll make more than that because this education is going to give me that. And the truth is, you don't know. None of us know. So what you have to be willing to do is take the risk. You have to be willing to say, you know what? I'm willing to learn all I can learn and then go out here and play the game. See, it's just like a NFL player or NBA player. You can practice all day. But then one day you got to get on the court and play the game. You got to risk looking bad amongst other professionals. You got to risk all of these things because you never get better unless you risk it. Unless you get out on the field and play. Unless you don't ever learn until you start dating again. You don't ever learn what you're capable of. You don't ever learn who out there might love you for you. You don't ever learn what somebody might accept you. Because the past, that don't mean shit. It means nothing. Nothing. Your future does not consult your past to determine where you're going. Only you do. Only you do. So look, that's my time, y'all. I just wanted to do that today because I realized, this is what it is. And if anybody want to donate to my cause to put up this content every single day, I put my Cash App up there at $ Ken Canion Group. And if nobody donates, I'm going to still be here tomorrow. All right, y'all. That's my time. All right, and remember, every journey starts with one step. Take that step today. You all be blessed. I'm out.